Okay, so we're here with Peter Disera at the Ontario Cycling Celebration, the annual fair, where everybody gets together to honor the cyclists for their work during the year. And Peter's taking home the Ontario Mountain Bike Award, annual award, and it's great to see you, Peter. You had a great season with your World Cup podium in Alfstad, and taking home the Elite Mountain Bike Championship this year, another big one as a U23 rider, I'll add. And but you know, it all kind of started with your new team, the Norco Factory team, which is really exciting. Tell us a little bit about how that all came about and brought you guys, you and your teammates, to the World Cup for the first full World Cup season.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been with Norco for 4 years now, since my good year as a junior in 2013. But this is the first year we downsized a little bit and then became a full World Cup team. So yeah, it was super cool to be able to travel to the first 2 World Cups with like the local crew that we're used to. So Kevin Haviland, our team manager, put a lot of work into that program, and it really paid off for us, and the results show as well. Like, Haley had some amazing results as a second year elite, or as early year elite woman.
Absolutely.
And then myself as a final year under 23 man, I tried to sort of anchor it home and managed to snag a podium and a bunch of top 10s there. And then even my brother, sort of like rising talent, but still only first year under 23, so it wasn't nothing was super expected of him, but then he goes and gets a 4th place in Mont Saint Anne. So I only bested him by 1 position technically.
There you go.
But
younger brothers like to do that to older brothers.
But no, the team really came together, and the support internationally has been fantastic, and sort of making new friends with the Norco distributors and support that we have throughout the globe, and being able to show up to the race like with our mechanic and with our team managers, and have tents set up and be able to run a World Cup like we would any other or like what we have been running the Canada Cup for the last bunch of years. So that was super exciting, and I think the team was happy with this year, from myself, Haley, and Quinton. So.
Yeah, for sure. You guys had a rocking season, and yours kind of started off really well when you were down at Sea Otter, and you raced against Nino and some of the top riders in the world. And how did that feel, just when you lined up at the start line, just knowing that you were taking on some of the best, and even though you'd been in some top competitions yourself, but this was the best in the world.
Yeah, that was wild. I changed coaches last season after the off season, and started working with Keith Wilson, and I was in school again, not full time, still reduced course load, but still in school in a not ideal area for mountain biking in Guelph, Ontario, but still having fun and getting my education in. And yeah, normally Sea Otter's a bit of a hit and miss, and normally not on form, haven't really ridden outside much. So like, I've raced against those guys when they've shown up before, but haven't been able to be in contention really. And then this year for the XCO race at Sea Otter, all of a sudden I was like, whoa, like there's Rainbow Stripes, like Nino's in front of the pack, and then there's Sam Gaze, who's world champion for under 23, and then there's like Howard Grotz, like elite American national champion, and Anton Cooper, like New Zealand national champion, and like so on down the list. And I was just like, whoa, okay, like this
is the real thing.
This season's starting off well. So it wasn't able, unfortunately, to snag a podium spot at Sea Otter, but just to be able to ride with those guys for most of the race, right up until about the last lap, was fantastic. And then moving through the year, the under 23 World Cups really gave me sort of an opening as to what I can do and what I was able to do. And I was happy to be able to secure top 10s for the first 4. Not so happy for the latter half of the season, especially after nationals. It kind of was on a bit of a decline after that, and then wasn't really able to pull things together for Worlds. I think I was riding in, like, at best, like 10th or 11th or something, and then front flatted. But realistically speaking, I didn't have the legs that day to do a top 10.
Right.
Yeah, but the season as a whole, if you were to just take a statistical average of it, is fantastic, and I'm happy, like finally under 23 to be able to punch that one home and really do something with that.
Absolutely. I mean, after coming off of Sea Otter where you were sixth against those guys, it had to be a confidence builder, because it looked like when you came out on the World Cup, you were ready to play ball, and then you announced that you landed on the podium. So all of that had to be part of your confidence building and just feeling like you belong.
Yeah. For the first World Cup in Czech Republic, like one of my favorite courses out there in Novo Mesto, and for the first World Cup, it's all based on UCI, so I was starting like 25th. So a little bit back, but I was like, okay, like I've got the juice. We've shown the firepower. I felt good on course all week. Like if there's any course on the World Cup circuit that I feel like really good on the technical stuff, it's the ones in Novo Mesto. So I was like, well, let's see what we can do. And then all of a sudden, like off the start loop, I was out front. I was like, whoa, why are these guys starting so slow?
Right. Or are you going too fast?
Or was I going too fast? So yeah, I tried to reel it in, but sort of completed my objective for that race, which was finishing within the top 8. So I got a front row start for Albstadt, and then had a front row start for the World Cups for the rest of the year from that with the World Cup points I had been able to catch. Unfortunately, at the end of the year, I did not go to the World Cup final in Val di Sole, Italy.
Right.
That was due to Norco. We hadn't planned on going, but that was not the key factor. Once we realized where I was in the World Cup overall, like funds and sort of logistics came together, and we were going. The thing that sort of pulled the plug on that was it was going to be way too much travel to go from Canada to Italy and then back to Canada for a few days and then to Australia for World Championships.
Right.
So it was I was going to be toast for Worlds if I had done that. So decided not to, which unfortunately I gave up my top 5 in the World Cup overall, but c'est la vie. Yeah, it was a good year. I liked how it played out. It was a good learning year and definitely a big confidence booster with that elite national title. Not so much for like saying like, oh, I'm the fastest man in Canada. Not overly focused on that. I was more so focused on like, okay, Leon can ride a top 16 elite men's World Cup. Raf can ride top 20s. And I was able to beat them both at nationals. Does that mean equivalently can I somehow get into the top 20 next year as a first year year elite? So yeah, that's a goal, and we got to see how things pan out.
Absolutely. But when you look back and you did really well at the beginning of the season, and then you came into nationals and you could have ridden U23 and defended your title, but you said no, I'm going into. I think when we interviewed you, you talked about you're earning more UCI points.
Yeah, it was UCI point driven, that decision. I had to place within the top 5 in elite in order to get the same or more UCI points than winning under 23.
Right. And
the big focus was on start position for Worlds. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty confident I can have a stab at the top 5, and if I get the win, I get the win. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
And you got the win, which was a pretty, you rode a really smart, good, hard race. Only Raf could go with you, and at the end he crashed, and it still felt like it was your race, regardless. You never know what happens at the end, but tough break for him. But you walked away with the title, and that's another nice line on your resume, eh?
Yeah, no, that was cool. That was a funky race how that one finished up. That was just, we were both so trashed by the end.
Absolutely.
The final descent was just hanging on for sure.
Very good. So now that the season's over and you're sort of in that sort of training mode or off-season mode, tell us what happens now for you until the season picks up again.
Yeah. So I took a sort of extended off-season this year, partially intentionally and partially unintentionally, but after Worlds in Australia, I spent a few more days down there with my parents ended up coming down, and because my brother and I was our last race competing against each other for the next foreseeable future until he gets out of under 23. So just kind of had a little bit of a family vacation, which hasn't happened all that often for us Diseras. But no, that was fun. Spent some time in Australia, and then came home to running back into school, and then I was back in school in Guelph at the University of Guelph for water resources engineering, trying to finish up. Still got a few semesters to go, unfortunately. But yeah, I sort of took a few more weeks off, and then tried riding again and crashed, and so I took another couple days off because I injured myself. But then no, when things started picking up, I was like, whoa, I'm unfit. Time to get back at it. And just some local cross stuff I enjoy supporting the local cross series throughout Southern Ontario and having some fun with that. And we did some cross national stuff, did some industry stuff in North Carolina at Fall Cycle Fest, and then now it's back into just sort of steady, get the hours in, be consistent. Christmas, still up in the air as to whether or not I'm going to go south or not, and then the next big focus would be sort of camps in February and trying to get some mountain biking in before we head south, to South Africa for the World Cup in March with Norco. So it's going to be an interesting one that early for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of momentum, Peter, and great season, great first season for Norco Factory Team, and your brother and Haley as well. So congratulations on that and all your great results this year. And thanks for spending time with us, and of course your Ontario Cycling Award as well.
Thank you very much.
All the best.